Hey
Hey
guys!
guys! Welcome back to this week's episode of Spile Hermana.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yes. Alright.
Shenanigans. Save it for after.
So, this week's episode, you got your cafecito? Mine's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Amargo. A little bitter. You get to put some milk in there.
Somebody put Jack in there.
So yeah, we're gonna be diving into these conspiracy theories. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh.
Oh, first of all,
We gotta.
let's point out we're red, white, and bluing it.
Yes. This is not my shirt.
It's Hazel's shirt. Well, we are recording the day before 4th of July. And I know this is going to come out next week. So today is not 4th of July, but last week it was.
Happy Independence Week.
Yes.
All right. Get that out of the way. Go ahead, Diana.
Sure.
You have the floor. You have the bed.
All right. So basically, I'm going to start out by giving you guys a little bit of definition to what a conspiracy theory is, because maybe someone doesn't know what that is, or just to give a little knowledge. So, conspiracy theory is the belief that a group of people are secretly working together to achieve a hidden goal, often against the public's best interests. So, basically, you telling me Beyonce is not the Illuminati, or is she? What is your?
Well,
Yeah.
I should have done Beyonce.
Well, it's because
Sorry.
So mine is basically Illuminati. And yeah, so it kind of
But
falls.
Beyonce has her own.
Yeah.
Her own rabbit hole.
But that falls into with the whole Illuminati thing, because
sure.
they use pop stars and for their new
What's
world order.
Illuminati?
So it's like basically a secret organization that was started back in the 1700s. I'm not too sure on the date, by some Bavarian. I think that was in like Germany, and they were just a secret society that came together, and nowadays basically they're trying to create a new world order by controlling certain, supposedly, like the government, money. There's signs of the Illuminati in our dollar bills and all the bills.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like there's a whole, it's like at the top, and then there's a whole bunch of like subtitles that go under, because it divides into different categories. So like Beyonce, she falls under the pop star, and that's how they are trying to like brainwash people, supposedly. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to get into it, and it's like never ending, because like I said, there's a whole bunch of like subcategories and of what Illuminati pertains to.
Are you guys like super into conspiracy theories? Well, I know Daisy is.
Certain ones.
Are you?
Certain ones, but not too like. I used to be. When I would watch the History Channel a lot, like they used to do these certain conspiracy theories, like the what was it, the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or is it the same thing, Sasquatch?
I think so, but the Yeti, the snow Yeti,
yes,
or the snow, I don't know, something like that. Similar to Bigfoot, but it's
you're cooler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to be before, not anymore. I guess I should watch.
It's just like all things mystery, I guess.
Yeah,
I asked them what it was today, because I didn't know. So I'm not too into it, but then I was looking them up on TikTok, and I was like,
it's interesting. And that's the crazy part, because you don't know.
No.
Right. It could be facts. It could be just made up stuff, opinions, or just straight up lies.
And some people just like this. Yeah, they just think their opinion is so true that it becomes a fact to them.
Yeah.
So, what were your guys' conspiracies? We can start there. I mean, I already started with the Illuminati, but like I said, it's like that one will take.
Yeah.
And then it'll fall into different. Maybe you guys have another one.
Do you want to go first, Susie? Or
No, you go ahead.
alright. So I didn't know what this was. Like I said, I was looking them up today because I was stressing. But I started scrolling on TikTok, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the Mandela.
Mandela.
I knew I was gonna say it wrong.
Okay.
The Mandela effect. I thought it was super cool. Like I was sitting there, like looking at all this stuff.
Do you actually remember some of these things?
Yeah, some, but not a lot because I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's always been like this. Because, but I'll get into that. Anyways, so the Mandela effect is a psychological phenomenon when a large group of people remember something one way, but it turns out to be wrong. So, for example, the one I saw the most is the Fruit of Loom logo.
Fruit of the Loom.
Did I say it? Oh my god, we're gonna cut that out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Fruit of the Loom. The loam? Oh my god!
You said it again.
It's so embarrassing.
Okay,
Okay.
start it all over then.
Yes. So, the one, I don't know. No. Okay, just whatever. I'll put it in there. The Fruit of the Loom logo. So, it's basically like fruits and then the...
You know what it's called?
Yes, the cornucopia. Oh!
Okay,
The
girl.
Capricorn.
It's like a ice cream cone that's curved. Anyways.
It's funny you started with that one. I remember me and Whitney actually started talking about this whole Mandela effect.
Really?
And then she brought up that one, the
Mhm.
Fruit of the Loom, because she's like, I know it was there because I specifically learned what a Capricornia or whatever.
You know,
Yeah.
I learned the definition of that word the day that
you know
I
what?
saw that.
Everybody says that, so I'm wondering if it's not another Mandela effect.
Which mean?
That
Like us
are people
thinking
just making this shit up in their mind that that's why they learned it?
But
I remember
how?
that thing being on there.
But how it like I
I never
understand
knew
that,
what it
but,
was.
like how is everyone thinking the same thing? It'd be different if everyone
That's
had
true.
different.
I don't know. I'm just making my own
things.
conspiracy theory.
That's
Anyways,
that's cat.
Okay,
And you
go
know
ahead.
what it also
Yeah.
reminds me of? It reminds me of the Sweet Bay one, but it's different, right? The
I
Sweet
think
Bay,
so. Yeah.
the store.
Do you
Sweet Bay.
remember what the sweet bay was? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
It's not that old.
Yeah,
No,
mom
she
used to
was
call it the
young.
Suli Bay, and then it became Winn Dixie. That's all I remember.
But before that, it was
Did
Cash
you?
and Carry.
You know what that is. His
Do
last
you
name.
remember that?
And before that,
I
it was
tried to
Food
apply
Line.
for a job there.
And Cash and Carry?
Really?
Yeah, they didn't take me because I didn't have experience as a cashier. Well, I just started applying for jobs. How do you want me to have experience?
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Could never be Publix.
Well,
Hazel asked me if I knew what Kmart was, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
You
Like
don't know what
Circle K?
Kmart is?
I was like, "Circle K."
there's actually one in Brandon.
There was still one in Ellington.
No, they're
Not too long ago. There was still one.
It's
Oh.
not there anymore? By
But
the outlets?
What do they
Yeah.
even sell?
Clothes.
Like Walmart?
No, like Target.
Oh, was bougie?
Not bougie like Target,
Like
but
Well, it was the bougie
well, I guess yeah.
one, like Walmart, Kmart. Kmart was always like
That's
that.
true.
Oh.
That's true. And they had Pizza Hut.
They had, what was it called? Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And they
Oh.
had the other restaurants there too. Ooh.
Anyways, back to the Fruit of the Loom.
Not us getting carried away.
Yeah. I saw this girl on TikTok. She found a shirt that she bought, and she showed it on camera, and they had it on there. So
Yeah.
and then it says that the company came out and said, like, no, our logo's always been this way. If it's never had the cornucopia thing.
Liars.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on there?
Right.
You know?
What's
And then
the point is my thing.
so
Sorry.
there's two. One of them is some conspiracy theorists say that the Mandela effect is proof that we're slipping between alternative realities. Like, we remember things from one timeline, but we're living in another. And it's also another one that people think that it's a result of an international manipulation by the government to try to change history, control perceptions, and test mass mind control.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. That's
So,
creepy as fuck.
which one do you believe is to be true, or do you even believe that this is true or not true? So, like, cap or fact?
I think, it's not like I believe it until I see, like, proof, but I think it's weird. Like, I'm like, this doesn't add up,
Right?
right?
Proof, but you don't remember?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess so with the girl with the shirt that
Well,
she
that's what I'm
showed
saying.
it. Because then how would they have made
And you
that?
remember it being
I
that way,
do. I do. But there's no, like, I don't understand. I think that the one I believe in is the alternative realities.
That's what you believe in?
Mm-hmm. And not the government, honestly.
Hmm.
I guess.
Oh, so you believe that we're living in a different timeline?
I think it could be possible, and that this is proof that there's cracks in it. But this is probably not true.
Okay.
Well, because, like, I have no idea. I don't know. Don't ask me that. What do y'all think?
No, but I mean, we're asking
I don't
for your
know.
opinion on what
I think
you
both
believe
of
to be.
I think both of them could be possible.
could be
but
possible.
I
That's a possibility.
I can't say for sure.
No, that's why it's a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I can see both of them, and I think it's really interesting
Yeah.
because it's weird how stuff like changes. But
Well, I feel like the whole government. Well, yeah. I mean, that's more plausible to me, anyways. But the fact that there could be alternate realities, that's also
yeah,
a possibility.
that's weird.
You know,
It's pretty
because
creepy.
like the way people, I don't know, how, like the deja vu's.
Yeah,
have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah,
So like they say that you've already went through it, you already dreamt it, or something like.
I was gonna do that one.
I saw
Deja
that
vu?
one.
The deja vu.
The like you relive your life in 7 minutes or something like that.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And like we're like
this
we already
could be
died,
your 7 minutes.
and this is us like reliving our
7 minutes.
of our whole life.
So the whole government trying to change history, obviously, that's what essentially what they're doing because they're changing what happened in the
I guess
past.
that makes sense.
So
That's
I mean,
more plausible.
do you have kids that you have kids that are going to school? Your son is going to school now, and he's going to be going to school. Do you remember like when you were in school and like the history they taught you?
No,
I've been hearing here and there like with everything.
They're changing things.
Yes, they're leaving certain things out.
Yeah.
Like the history of the wars and stuff.
Well, there are certain things that I am not opposed to for them to change. Like back in the day, we were like Christopher Columbus, yeah, and then now we're like Q,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Q, you know,
right?
But I wouldn't be opposed for them to change Christopher Columbus. Like we don't need to celebrate Christopher Columbus. Why do we need to celebrate him? And also, like,
because he discovered what?
Shit. He didn't discover shit. The fuck? Colonized.
So,
you're a colonizer, like Mr. Kendrick Lamar said.
So what are they putting now in the books? Because I mean they don't want to. I don't know. I've heard that they're taking like the Native Americans out of the equation.
Are they really?
Yeah, like they were not even here. Like they didn't even take their land.
Okay,
but
I mean they shouldn't take that out because that's just the U.S. history. But that's when you get a little tedious. Is that the right word to use? Whenever like high school, when you have different kinds of history classes, because that would fall into U.S. history. They should definitely talk about how the natives were here first, and then in history in general, maybe it doesn't need to because we were never taught about the people back in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Like it's starting to get later and later, and although you shouldn't ever write anybody off in history because they existed and that matters.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things in history that's happening that should be added to, and then you just got to start. It's like
that's true.
Decluttering. You know, as years go by, you start getting new things, and
I guess not how will they finish?
No, I know
they're never gonna finish.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if everything that we learned in the school year, they can't learn all that, and then what we already learned.
What's been
time
lived.
keeps going.
But I feel like the basics, like the beginnings of the
when did
the United States?
We're celebrating the birthday of America tomorrow, but what was the year? 1776.
It's like 100 and
Is it 76?
124th one.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Is it
1776? Yep.
Oh my god!
Is that a wild guess?
No, it's because I was listening to that one guy.
Yeah.
You know that I legit thought you knew. That guy, Charlie something, the one who argues with people, or not argues with them, like I guess.
So,
okay, so what I'm trying to say is like, so the people who are from 1790 are probably like, yeah, we should definitely continue to keep what's happened so far in the history books because it's important and it matters. But it's always since then. We don't know things that happened from then. You know what I'm trying to say?
249th birthday this year. Next year's the 250th. They're gonna do something next year.
Like what?
Celebration. 250. 25.
Oh. It would have been cool if we got a 250 on it. 2025.
Yeah.
Cool.
The golden year. Golden birthday? Is that what it's called?
No. Golden
No.
is 50th, I think.
No. Your golden birthday is whenever you celebrate the age of the same day that you were born of.
Oh.
So like when you turn 10.
Oh.
When I turned 7.
Yes, ma'am. When I turn 5.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Anyways, there's a lot, so look into it because it's super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on because I think we went past our
I
time.
thought, you know what I thought the one that you were gonna go with is the Curious George tale.
But Curious George never had to tell. I don't remember that. If anything, in the books. But, and that's one thing I was going to say, too. It's something that I think that evolves. Like, okay, Curious George in the drawing is completely different from the cartoon. But, just like, for example, Sprite. When Sprite was a blue and green can in the lemon.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's all green.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, but they're not denying
no,
that.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's the same thing, though.
Kind of, but no, because if they're denying it. Like Coca-Cola, they like to have their little posters with like back in the 90s and that, you know, like they like to do that, and some companies do that too, their logos and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're denying that.
Yeah,
and also
right.
the
Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
I loved them.
I
The
never
way that they
watched
were
it.
spelled.
Stain.
Yeah.
I never noticed because I didn't really care.
I never noticed either.
I didn't care for the spelling. I just cared for the show.
I want to keep going, but it's
Okay.
someone else.
Yeah,
You're right.
Let's move on. So I did I think I'm a little bit more darker than you guys. The Philadelphia experiments. Yay or nay?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
No idea.
Beautiful. It's giving science, government secrets, and accidental horror movies. So look a look. Okay, so allegedly, back in 1943, during World War II, the U.S. Navy tried to make a battleship invisible using some electromagnetic field experiment shit. I don't know. So the ship was the USS Eldridge. The goal was stealth mode against the enemy radar, and the result, not what they expected at all whatsoever. So supposedly the ship didn't just turn invisible; it disappeared, like fully teleported, basically. And it appeared, and when it reappeared, some of the sailors, they were fused into the ship, like they were part of the ship, like there was a hand sticking out of the yeah. And then others had gone like completely crazy, like just you cannot understand anything that's coming out of their mouth, or like they're saying like some wild ass shit. And then another few just disappeared,
Well,
completely vanished.
it's different.
Never seen them again. Now, some say it was an accident, some say it was Tesla's unfinished tech hijacked by the military. So this was actually a guy named, I can't remember his first name. I want to say it was Nick or Nico, or I don't know, but his last name was Tesla's. I don't know if he's affiliated with the Tesla people, but I did see a TikTok when I was researching. I research on TikTok. That Tesla guy dude somewhere in the lineage, I don't know, but he's related to Donald Trump. This guy here. I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. It really doesn't. But I just thought that was a fun fact.
Well, you know who the Tesla guy is now, right? The one that's in charge.
Yeah. Elon. Yeah, no. But his last name is Tesla. So it derived from there, I believe. Because look, I'm not a scientist and I don't have a degree in any shit. But Tesla.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. I think that was his last name, and I think he was an inventor or a scientist or something, and I don't know. Anyways, moving on. The Navy denies everything, of course, but there's a lot of weird stories that came out of it, and witnesses that were shut down. They tried to play Minecraft basically with real humans. So what I also seen was that basically this all happened within 20 minutes. So they shot, I think it was like a laser or something like that. They shot it at the ship, and it started like glowing, kind of like green and foggy or something like that, and it completely disappeared for 10 minutes, right?
That's crazy.
And then this was in Philadelphia, and reappeared in Norfolk, Virginia for 10 minutes, but it was the 10 minutes before it disappeared.
Bro, that reminds me of that.
It went back in time for 10 minutes. And then it reappeared again in Philadelphia.
I'm confused.
Okay, so it was here. It was here in Philadelphia.
In 10 minutes.
At 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then it appeared over here at 9:40. I mean, at 9:50, sorry.
So how did time go back?
Before it was here.
And then it reappeared here at 10:10.
Do you remember that show? The Island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reminds me of.
Yeah. Oh. What is it called? Lost.
Yeah.
No.
It's
a good one. It's a good one. I have not finished it, but it's a good one.
I was gonna start it. Well, we did. We finished it, but
we did.
We didn't start it over.
I also got too confused because they just have a lot of flashbacks, which I don't mind it, but he's just very like, I think it's his ADHD.
You have to pay attention.
Yeah, you really do. And then with the boys yelling, you can't. But yeah, that's my. I don't know if it's true, honestly.
Is
like
there
I keep
any
seeing.
proof to that?
I don't know.
So
there's no actual proof, I think, but everybody talks about it, and supposedly there's witnesses, and there is a guy who says that he time traveled. Like he was one of the people who vanished completely, and he time traveled 800 years ahead of time.
What the fuck?
So he was in 2147. I don't know, some 2100 and something years, or the year of. And he said that everything was great. Like everybody was living in these floating cities, and like there was cars like in the air and shit like that. And then 2 years, he was only there for 2 years, and all of a sudden he came back. So I don't know if that's true, or if they were playing some radioactive shit with the ship, and people went cuckoo, and it's just a crazy man talking. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Interesting.
But it's a very.
Do you guys get caught up on these conspiracy theories and like?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
do that friendly with rabbits.
A little bit.
Me and rabbits get along very well.
I like the same with you. Like I want to believe it, but then at the same time I'm like they're just probably crazy. But then I'm like, is that what they want us to think?
Exactly. Keep your eyes open. Don't even trust your shadow.
So my other one was about JFK and his assassination. So I've always liked this one, like from when I was in school, because they would talk about how he got assassinated by this Oswald guy, a Marine, by a sniper. He was like on the 10th floor of the building, and then he was killed by he was the owner of a nightclub.
The sniper?
Yeah, he was on his way to like trial, or I'm not sure where he was going, where they were taking him, and this guy killed him. He had like a lot of answers, like obviously, did he kill him or not? How many people were involved? So I went down that rabbit hole of like, there's so many conspiracies in regards to the assassination of JFK. So they think the CIA was in it, the mafia, and then what's the other one called? The sub.
Is this the guy that got shot in the convertible?
Yeah.
Where his brains were inside on his.
Yeah.
On his wife.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah, they were like sitting there like waving the people.
I seen the picture that's supposed. Oh, I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but that his brains were still on her while she was
trying to
sign off or something, because they're switching presidents because he was the president, and so you know how they do the thing over, and like she was like she could still see like, and her face was just like I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. First of all, your husband is gone, and second of all, the traumatic way that it happened. Like,
I just hope that I died of a heart attack or something.
Yeah. So I was reading that this guy, Oswald, who. He basically had took a trip over to Mexico City And in Mexico City, he met with like these people from the Soviet Union. Soviet Union is like Russia.
Mhm.
So there, somebody supposedly overheard him say he was going to kill JFK.
Mm.
But then they're also claiming CIA knew about it. Because they were keeping an eye on him, and so they think it's an inside job.
Oh, they set him up.
Well, they used him to kill him,
yeah,
and they used him as a scapegoat, basically. And this is like deep in the CIA because just recently I heard Trump released a whole bunch of documents from like the investigation. Like,
yeah. I just haven't looked into that, but yeah, I did hear that.
Mm-hmm. January 23rd, he released them.
I need somebody to read them all and then. I'll ask chat. Summarize that in English for me.
Summarize it for me. So yeah, and I don't know what he was playing at, or like he wanted more information released, or what his reasoning was for releasing.
What his goal is,
right,
to achieve.
But it's just crazy to me how like they just use. Well, first of all, they wanted to kill this president, but do you ever ask yourself why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess
why do people want to kill?
No, you'd have to know what he was doing.
What was he doing?
I mean, he was doing pretty good things.
Presidential things, I imagine.
Correct. But he was one of the most liked presidents. People, really...
Like Obama?
I mean...
Okay.
Yeah. Next. We're getting into too much politics.
Bring it back. Okay, but he was the most liked president.
Right, he was doing good things. Don't know what good things he was doing because I didn't research that. But
we're not doing that. We're just talking conspiracy theories.
Exactly. So the whole, why they wanted to kill him, was I did see something about that, but I can't remember right now what it was. And I have my research over there. Según yo, me lo mandé al iPad, and then
this girl.
I'm looking it up right now, and I sent it to the wrong email because there's an email connected to this one. I sent it to my own phone.
Oh gosh,
I know.
Right.
So, but in my opinion, I think it's plausible. Somebody
was set up,
or somebody was behind the assassination.
And it wasn't the guy who went down.
Well, yeah, he was behind it because he wanted him dead, but he was used either by the Soviet Union, either by the CIA,
he was pushed towards that direction. Okay.
Or the aliens. What else?
Could have been an alien. Paul.
I don't know about
the
alien. You don't believe in aliens? That's another conspiracy theory. No. I wanted to do that one.
I believe that. I believe there's other stuff out there that we don't know, but I don't know about like.
Isn't that a definition of an alien?
Correct.
I guess you're right.
Whether there are other humans like us in a different planet or just creatures
looking things.
I think there's. Have you seen the size of this universe? No, because it's freaking huge.
I've seen UFOs.
Can you imagine you've seen a UFO? Okay.
I have. In Ruskin.
I know, but off track.
My mind just came.
We're gonna continue.
my mind just zoomed out from where we were to the Earth to space to the galaxy.
You seen it?
Everything. I saw it.
You see it? Shit. Early.
Yeah, that sighting of the UFO that I saw made it to YouTube. It's there. We saw it. It was like 4.
She came up with it.
No, I didn't. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was still with your ex-husband, and it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember if it was him or his dad that came inside to tell us because we were making lunch and they were getting ready to go to work. And they're like, "Look at that!" And we went out to the porch. You could see it. There was 2 of them. They were doing this. Planes don't do this. The lights. And back in the day, I don't think we had drones. Can't remember.
Oh, back in the 90s?
Shut up. It was 2000s. It wasn't that back in the day.
That's crazy. We'll have to look that up later.
Oh my gosh, I saw these TikToks that they were asking like kids like our oldest nieces and nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm talking about?
No, go
ahead. They're like, so what year does a person have to be considered old? And you know what they said? 2000.
What?
We're old.
These youngins think they're.
If you're old, I'm ancient.
Did you ever meet a dinosaur?
Not me roasting myself.
That's too funny.
I'm not that ancient. That's fossil. That's mom and dad.
Okay. Shoot.
My mom doesn't see it.
She sees it.
She does. She sure does. Okay, go with your. Did you do your next already?
No.
Go ahead.
My other one is about the Titanic. So it's kind of like two of them. I didn't know about it till like today. But yes. So basically, one of them says some believe that the ship that sank wasn't the Titanic. It was actually another boat that was called the Olympic.
A sister boat.
Yeah, the sister boat. I took that part out because I was like, why did they call it sisters? But
yeah,
I guess
they're known as their sister ships.
I don't know.
I don't know why, but they have the same parents probably.
Builders, yeah. So basically, it was disguised as a Titanic in an insurance scam. So the Olympic had been damaged in an earlier accident, and it wasn't fully insurable. So then they sent out the Titanic. Oh wait, no, they sent out the Olympic as the Titanic, and then it like ended up obviously sank, whatever, and then they were able to get money from the insurance.
They had insurance back in that day?
I reckon.
What was the years?
I didn't know.
No idea.
You're gonna cut me out like that.
Oh.
Watch, you would have looked over and it would have just been one word, Titanic.
Well, I thought we did my research.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway, I just thought that we know that we have it on here. We're reading from it. Or what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was just talking to you.
She's looking at herself.
I'm
for the first time.
Literally.
Okay, go ahead. What's the second one?
Yeah, the second one is that J.P. Morgan, I guess, was the person that like gave the funds to make the Titanic.
From Morgan and Morgan?
Whoa, that was weird. Talking about conspiracies is making me feel weird.
That was not scripted, guys.
It wasn't. Anyways.
Right here.
Is it? I'm like,
You don't have a laptop.
but I have this.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So basically, he funded the Titanic to intentionally cause a disaster to eliminate his financial rivals. So there's like a couple people. So he was he wanted to create the Federal Reserve. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Negative.
What is it?
The money?
Federal Reserve?
Yeah.
Money.
It's
Like
the
cash?
treasure-
Like the bank.
Yeah, it's like
For the
treasure
government. For
chest.
the United States, basically.
All right. So they wanted. I probably look so stupid. All these people watching. Anyways,
She doesn't.
Chill out.
they're creating he wanted to create the Federal Reserve, but there was lots of people that were against it. And so, what a coincidence! All those people that were against it were on the boat, and he had a ticket to get on the boat, and he canceled last minute.
That's
Are you
the
shocked
ticket
for real?
that-
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ticket
He
that Jack
canceled.
used? I just made that up.
I know, but also I was thinking, that movie isn't really real.
So
They don't
that's
have a
what I
jack.
thought- That's what I thought
There's no
that
jack.
we were
Real.
going to get into. Is
Oh,
the
no.
whole
But I don't
Rose.
think that's real, right?
No, it's
Rose
not real.
isn't real either.
low
Oh,
cost.
Rose was
No,
real?
She was real. She had the blue diamond,
Oh, she made it all up.
but she was cuckoo,
Oh, that's
supposedly.
Or she was just old.
conspiracy
See, that's
theories
another
part
conspiracy
2.
theory. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I was going to say? We should probably dedicate like one episode to one of these because like
They're pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
we could
That's
get
what I'm
into
saying.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
we're only like touching the base. of
Well,
all
if
of
you
these.
guys like them,
right,
let us know. And if there's a certain one that you really like,
then we
drop
might,
it down in
Yeah,
the comments.
exactly. We might do it a whole episode on that one. That would be
yes,
awesome.
sir.
Because I liked all of these that you guys.
They're
came up
pretty
with.
interesting.
Mhm. My next?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for some more darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready.
Right.
All right.
About the mattresses?
This is the. No, I'm not.
No.
Sorry. The diet.
I don't know what that is.
Diet love. I don't know. It's a weird name because it's Russian. Diet love pass incidents. So we're going to the Ural Mountains in Russia. This is gonna live rent free in your brain now. Okay. 1959. 9 experienced hikers go off on a winter expedition. They don't come back. Weeks later, a rescue team finds their campsite, and nothing was normal. Their tents slashed open from the inside. From inside, okay? Their bodies scattered, half dressed in negative 30-degree weather.
Well, how can you tell
And
they were
some
slashed
of them-
from the inside? Like the way when you cut a tela.
Scientists.
Isn't that what she told us
Yeah.
last time?
Yeah.
Yo.
It's been a little hot in here.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
cold.
negative 30-degree weather.
Yeah.
Some were half dressed, but also I did see a TikTok where, I did some research and I heard that, I read that some of them were actually cross-dressed. So some of the males had female clothes and the females had male clothes, right? And then some had crushed ribs. One girl was missing her tongue. Some of them had like ears cut off, nose cut off. Crazy
That
as
was
shit.
a serious game
One
of
of
truth or
them,
dare.
I think one of them, they were like scattered. So like one of them was hanging in the tree.
Oh my
I
God.
dare you to hang
Okay,
up
and the tree had like slashes on it too, like big slashes.
She goes with the creepy shit.
Zero signs of struggle,
That's
no
what I
animal
hear.
tracks, nothing. So they did see footprints. So they were coming from their campsite, and they weren't at the campsite, I believe. Like the bodies were found like away from it. I know, I'm sorry, but like they could see the footprints.
She said, I'm sorry, as she keeps.
They see the footprints, and like some of them were barefoot. Some was one shoe, one barefoot, and like that, right? Okay. So, moving on. There's different theories. The actual like what they wrote down and cause of death, whatever was what they went with, was that it was an avalanche.
How the fuck?
Okay. Another one was that it was a secret Soviet military testing.
An avalanche with hands to switch the clothes. And
I'm telling you. Another one thinks that it was a infrasound panic, like sound frequency that drives people crazy.
No.
Were they too high up?
Or people think it was Yetis or aliens.
Maybe Yetis if they're real.
They were playing doll with
But
humans,
now,
dressing them in.
No, I think maybe they got super high and like off some type of drug.
so I think you hit it on the money. So 60 years later, I guess there were some scientists who does science stuff, you know,
I love those guys.
and it was something about some kind of nerve ending something. So nerve ending agent.
Mhm.
So nerve ending agent poisoning. Sorry, got it. So some kind of poisoning that makes you go cuckoo. So they basically fought each other. I think
They fucked each other?
fought.
Oh.
They fought or did it to themselves, because there was actually a second incident. I don't know how valid that one is. I know this one is valid because I've heard it like 3 different versions of it. Not different versions, but like 3 different.
I guess this explains
On
how
my
they
podcast
die, but
that I listened to, and they talked about this because it's a death. It's a But there was supposedly another incident, and I seen it on TikTok. It happened again in Russia. Hikers, one survivor this time. And she talked about how there's this one girl who smashed her head into a fucking rock until she was gone. So they really do think it was something that they got into and they didn't realize it. It's the nerve ending agent poisoning or something like that. It's something that I think you breathe in or something, inhale or breathe in,
Like
and there's no smell or nothing. You don't know that you're inhaling that, and that's
or maybe they did.
Or maybe
they're like,
I know there was another theory, because I guess some people over there in the mountain, they're mountain men,
Mhm.
they have reindeers, and they give the shrooms to reindeers basically, and then they grab their pee and they drink it too as a hallucinant.
The reindeer's pee?
Ew.
Yeah, because it has, I don't know.
I think that's when you hit rock
So
bottom.
that was another option for.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Wowzer. So do you feel like that's...
I think the nerve ending agent
That's
poison.
possible.
I think that's what's possible.
Okay.
I think
There's
so.
something in the air, like a leaf that they rubbed. Something.
That or like a fucking bear or something. I don't know. I know,
Yeah,
but the
but
cross dressing
yeah.
doesn't make sense. Yeah, it was some kind of drug that really got them.
But then what about the scratches on the tree? I don't think a human could.
Maybe. They had objects because they had all their hiking gear.
Oh,
So
like trying to climb up to where the other person was.
maybe, I don't know, or trying to climb up to the tree
To hang himself.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't hung. I don't know how he was.
Ooh, don't talk about it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Anyways, now.
So, like, all of the theories that we talked about, like, which ones are your top for being, like, very
Real?
plausible? There's no doubt about it being real, and that pretty much, like, shocked you, or you weren't even thinking about it, but now that you heard it, you're like, oh shit. And I ask you because you're like, you just heard all this. Daisy's so into that, so I don't think anything shocked her.
Yeah, she was like, to mine. But
I just never looked into it because it just seems boring. The whole insurance stuff, I was just like, whatever. So I never actually looked into the Titanic.
I'm so
okay.
in awe about the Titanic. Like, I wanted to go see it.
I
When we
love
went
watching the documentary. Oh yeah,
I want to go to
so
Japan.
expensive though.
I know, but it's cool.
So
We'll go another day.
then you were shocked about the Titanic one. That was the one
that was pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
So which one's the one that y'all think was like the worst and not plausible? Like out of all of them, was there any? I feel like they were all good and plausible to me.
I know the Philadelphia effect. I feel like the Philadelphia experiment. I don't know. That sounds kind of crazy. Don't think that's what happened. I think what happened, like we said, was
Something
maybe
else.
some radioactive shit, or they're doing some.
Yeah, I think
government
that was
testing.
probably the least.
The one on the least.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
And I think the most normal one was the one you said about JF Kennedy. I feel like that's more like real.
Government controlled
Yeah.
type thing.
Like,
Watching you.
I'm not.
don't say that. Then I tell her.
All right. So, guess what time it is?
Time for one sip, three spills.
Okay. Guess what?
What?
We
got
had
another
a
one?
second submission.
Oh hey!
All right.
What's that?
Were we dancing?
We're
we
just
do
celebrating.
Yeah,
no,
there
we're
is.
just we're just celebrating right now because we have our second submission.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this submission was from my friend Arlette. Shout out to Arlette. Thank you. So it says it's titled "The Secret Job Offer," and the backstory is.
Oh, I'm glad you did that. I was like,
Layla and Darius have been dating for a year. They've talked about moving in together and building a future. One night, Layla finds out through a mutual friend that Darius was offered his dream job in another state. She's shocked. He never told her. When she confronts him, Darius says, "I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to try to stop me. I haven't decided yet." Layla feels betrayed. She thought they made decisions as a team. Darius says he needs to think about his future. Few questions are: was Darius wrong for keeping the offer a secret?
Yes.
Daisy. Fuck yes.
Yes, I agree too. Very wrong. Like, if you're hiding this from me, what else are you hiding from me?
Out of motherfucking pocket.
That's like besides the point. Why are you dating somebody if you don't see them in your future? If you don't want to, you're not looking forward to a future with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that he has to think about his future.
Yeah.
And
then they've talked about moving in together.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have to think about your future,
yeah.
Bye.
And the second question is: should Layla be upset, or is Darius just protecting his independence?
Fuck no.
I mean, to an extent, I can.
I say fuck him.
Play devil's advocate because we all deserve some kind of independence in our relationships, but not that far.
Right, but your independence is you being able to decide. I'm not saying you can't decide. That's your decision and what you want to do with your life. But why are you keeping it from me?
That's true.
You know,
I don't see it that well. They're dating, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So then, yeah, you're right.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard. Should she be upset?
Yes, she's allowed.
She should be.
She's
Yeah,
allowed.
because you're keeping a secret from me, and
Yeah.
in a relationship there should always be trust and no secrets. No horrible secrets like this, like little white lies about, oh, I'm not gonna tell him because I'm gonna surprise him, or I'm gonna surprise her. You know, those are little secrets that, you know. But is Darius protecting his independence? Yeah, he is actually. He is protecting his independence, and he shouldn't be, because you're not.
Well, maybe he knows her.
What?
The
She's a
fact that
bitch.
the fact that he said, "I didn't tell you because you're going to try to stop me." Not that she's a bitch, but like, you know, your couple. You know.
Okay, so then why are you still with her? If
Right.
you don't think that you're gonna
Like I
thrive
said,
in life,
Like I said, if he's not seeing her, you know, as
That was my
in the
idea,
future, there she goes.
Okay. So would you stay in the
it's true.
relationship if you were her?
No. I mean,
What
I think-
relationship though? If he's gonna take a job out of the state, like, I'm not
Sure.
saying this long distance doesn't work, but if you're already starting it off on the wrong foot,
right?
like
Yeah.
not
It's
going
doable,
nowhere.
but he the fact that he didn't want to sit there and talk about it, and is like, I just didn't want to tell you because I know you're going to try to stop me, versus we should sit down and talk about this and figure things out because I really want this job.
At the end of the day, we are all our own person and have our own opinions, and we'll make our own choices. But there's a difference between having somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and you don't need them to decide for you.
Yeah.
You need them to have an opinion about it. Hey, I got this job offer, but it's out of state. Let's talk about it. Like, do you think we will work out while I'm out there? Or would you see yourself moving out there with me?
That's
or
different.
what do you think about it? Because I really want to take it, and I just don't want to jeopardize what we have.
Right.
I feel like
he
when
doesn't
you
care.
value
Yeah.
the opinion of your spouse or girlfriend significant other, that speaks volumes on your relationship itself. So, I mean,
You don't have a relationship if you don't have two people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exacto.
So,
sorry,
drop
my
that
friend.
guy.
Unfortunately. That sums up this week's episode. Stay tuned for next week.
Yes, next week we're going to be discussing parenting. But not just as parents, parenting in every way, as a tia, as a tío, as a grandparent, as a cousin, as a bystander. Not a bystander, just kidding.
What?
I was doing up there.
No, so we're going to be talking about just raising kids, healing from your childhood at the same time, and all of that in between. So stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.